Hello, John Ferry with theCUBE. We are here at their NYSE CUBE studios, the New York Stock Exchange, our East Coast access point. Of course, we got our Palo Alto studio, connecting Wall Street and Silicon Valley, tech and money. This is again part of our NYSE Wired program with theCUBE, partnering with the NYSE. You got a great mixture of experts program. We bring in experts who are in their field, making things happen, a lot of innovation. Martin Costas here, CFO of Boxabl. We featured the founder yesterday. Martin, great to see you back on theCUBE. A year ago we chatted here at the NYSE about Boxabl, a lot of momentum. Congratulations.
Super exciting to be here again after a year. A lot of things happened in the last 12 months. Yeah. And again, I believe that your broadcast is very, very supporting high tech, so super happy to be here.
Yeah, the founder was on, talking about the origination story and the innovation in housing, the revolution that's happening. You guys, with your innovation, your cost structure, the unit economics, all looking good. Unique operational workflows, kind of really changing the housing game in terms of, one, scale and ease of deployment. Still a lot of work to do, but great momentum. Last time we talked, you were doing, casitas, in-law apartments, now full houses, so the scale is moving.
Yeah, and you just nailed it. I think that a lot of people, when they discuss about the crisis that we're having in the nation, and also globally speaking in terms of housing, they have a tendency to confuse what is the real solution, but what there is no question is the need of a scale. We're 5 million houses in the lower numbers that you can see online that we're missing in US. So you really need a solution that you can scale. The initial product that we have is the Casita, is our flagship. We are selling those, especially in the California market. But we actually introduced new product this year. We're already selling a 2-bed and 1-bed setup of the Casita, which is an 800 square feet almost. It's 361 casitas together, so now we have a 1-bed, 2-bed. We're about to announce a 3-bed. So as you can see, the footprint of the house is starting to increase to actually address that affordable housing.
Process innovation always fascinates me and Dave Vellante and our team because it's always process, people, technology. You got some AI you're working in there too. And the story and the demand for housing is so strong. I think Boxabl is a great example of an innovative company at all fronts. Obviously on the product side, which we talked with you guys yesterday about, but also fascinating is the funding side. You guys went viral with funding. The demand and support was pretty massive. You guys going through a public process now. And how's that going? You got, it's the FGMC is the ticker.
Correct, correct. We are going a SPAC. So basically we announced the SPAC early this year with an LOI, and we were able to file our S4 before the government shut down. So right now we are waiting them to come back and review. As you know, we have been subject to exchange since 2023. That means that we're filing 10Ks, 10Qs, so we're in compliance. Consequently, we believe that the process of review is going to be smooth as soon as the folks that are coming back to review our prospect. So very exciting to go public.
And the public listing gives a lot of benefits. Let's just say I'm an institutional investor and I want to support the company.
Correct.
Are you guys going to open up another Reg A financing? Is that on the table?
Yeah, no, we are not planning to do any other Reg A, Reg D. So basically we're going to go public with this S4 process. What is going on nowadays is obviously the people is buying the ticker of FGMC, which means that everybody that is doing that will convert one-to-one into the BXPL. That is typically what happens in any SPAC, that it is approved. So if the SEC approve our S4, basically everybody that is buying today, they will get one stock.
Convert.
They will convert automatically. And again, you need to go read the prospect.
I'm not a SPAC expert, so what does that mean? So if I want to buy the stock today, I can go to the ticker and I could buy.
It's public trade, it's in NASDAQ, so it's about $10.
So I can buy as many shares as I want today.
You can buy as many
and what does
as
that mean to me? I convert to?
So you need to read this for and the prospect, but basically in any SPAC what happens is at the end of when the SEC approve and we go through the closing process, they will convert. So one FGMC stock will be now a BXPL, which is our ticker, once we go public, so virtually.
Yeah, so you buy it on the front end then, basically. Front end of the approval, read the prospectus, all the legal stuff.
Subject to the approval. Yes.
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but I'm sure you got, yeah, you got CFO, you got to keep that down. Okay,
yes.
so it's going to be a nice process.
Correct.
Investors going to get converted. That's awesome. And then use of funds, obviously, what's the growth strategy? Can you share the growth strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. Super exciting because we already saw, by the way, a big volume going through the FGMC ticker since we announced the LOI. So that means that there is interest, and our investors, they keep supporting us, which is not a surprise because most of our Reg A and Reg D, they are recurrent investors. About 50% of the people, they rebuy. In terms of the proceeds, it's amazing because, again, as you said at the beginning, it's a scale game. So ideally, we would like to build houses for everybody. 5 million houses are missing in US. With the capex that it is reasonable, around $100 million, you can do a 5,000 units per year factory. But our dream is building a house as you build a car. A car is under a minute. 1 minute per house, that means 500,000 houses. In a facility. I'm talking about 5,000, so you can imagine the need that we have.
What I love about the vision that you guys are doing, and this came up in our conversation, deep dive yesterday's podcast, was that, you know, the comparison was to Tesla. Tesla's not a car anymore, it's an AI factory.
Totally.
So, but it's a car, it still goes from point A to point B. Totally. And people who have a Tesla kind of feel weird driving a car again because, oh my God, to pay attention. So, house is a house. A car was built the old way, now it's a new way. Automation, without automation, Elon would not have where he is today. Right. You guys have a similar kind of first principle.
Correct.
Automation, large scale, technology embedded.
Correct. In the long run, we will have the same type of technology in the product. We cannot give a lot of looking forward statement, but definitely we're following the same path. And I would like to say something, that we are better in terms of a business prospect, because nowadays you cannot sell a Tesla in South America or in Africa, but you need a house there.
Well, now you got to get Starlink and robots and AI factories built because well, can you have self-building houses?
Totally.
I'm joking, but like look at Tesla, they're autonomous. Totally. So a lot of technology, I mean, that's all, I'm kidding aside, probably not in the immediate plan, but you know, you might have a fleet of robots connecting the utilities.
Look, I don't think it's a joke. I believe that companies that they are not native in AI, they will have a tendency to disappear, and we have that very, very clear in Boxabl.
You know, it's interesting, not to go on a tangent, it's kind of not related, but somewhat related, you know, tongue-in-cheek, making that comparison to Tesla about the robots, is a natural extension for Boxabl because, you know, the physical AI trend that's coming is clear. We're seeing that in the market today with all the CapEx build out for AI factories. And then you see the agentic layer come in. This is on the enterprise and like computing side. And then after agentic, the roadmap from NVIDIA, for example, is physical AI. Elon's on the same parallel path with NVIDIA. He's competing with OpenAI as well, but like, you know, he's buying NVIDIA drive. So, you know,
correct.
CapEx build out for AI, agents, and then physical AI, which is robotics, manufacturing, hospitals, robotic AI assisted to humans. That could be applied to physical houses.
Will be. It's just that we're on baby steps because of the industry. So you need to think about this parallel. If you see when we were building the first 4T, and you see how we were building houses, the technique was a stick frame. It's the same that we use today. On parallel, you saw a car flying this weekend. You say how we went from a 4T to these, and we're still doing the same thing.
You know, modularity, Dave Vellante brought this up yesterday when he was here in the studio about modularity. And if you look at cars were built on an assembly line, but still skilled labor required. I saw at an NVIDIA conference, Mercedes announced with NVIDIA the future of the AI factory car, which is going to be self-driving, the robo-taxi market's huge, and they're building a chassis.
Correct.
Standard chassis frame with room for the computer. And the idea was templatize the frame and then custom build the car around the frame. So you might have different versions of, say, Mercedes, this is their thinking, but first party designed in is the spot for the factory AI system.
Correct.
Homes could have a similar approach. Is that on the radar?
Totally. Indeed, again, we are in the baby steps, but I was very lucky through my career. I was a CFO with one of the Fortune 100 companies that they do actually automation. I was able to go inside of a lot of automotive companies. And I can tell you that, for example, in a car, you're going to have more than 20,000 SKUs, unique, highly engineering parts that, you know, a car is having a metal thing that you squeeze, is highly engineered. My casita, honestly, is a parallel type of a product, but my parts, they are not highly engineered. I have 500 SKUs, and today I'm paying 3 times plus the cost in materials to that comparable car. You can see what the volume will do in the industry, and then again, is what you're saying. If you see that the car is running every single under a minute or a minute in a company like Ford F-150 or Tesla, they are building a car, you can see a car popping up out of that production line in a minute. The labor cost has a tendency to
the economies of scale are off the charts. I mean, basically having too many SKUs, what you're saying is too many SKUs create unique products that have to have their own demand. You still market that car, so everything is siloed, and it opens up risk.
Absolutely.
Versus standardizing.
Totally, and imagine yourself again, 20,000 SKUs, the complexity of a manufacturing process of a car versus a house. Versus a house. We're going to go there because in the future, I can say, I'm not talking in a generic way, houses are going to have obviously an AI solution that will enhance the life experience of the people. But still today we're building a stick frame. So we are really, really baby steps. We really need the help from the government to give us flexibility on the legislation, permitting, understand that the advanced materials are the solution, advanced manufacturing is the solution, and we're going to have a huge revolution on the housing industry for good.
I think you guys are onto something pretty big. I mean, I can see the dots connecting in my head in real time because just master planned communities are a big thing. They have for a long time. Now you can rethink what a community would look like, a smart city. You can design in technology into the housing physical part and connect it into the overall system. That's not how it works today. You have all kinds of rules. You got a building inspector, you got 5 different departments that track it. You have the public utilities, the roads. Imagine connecting everything around the home.
That's the solution that we actually need. And it's very sad because when you see the 5 million houses or 8 million houses, depending on the source of information that you use, you may have a question, is 5 or is 8? But where it's not a question is the super majority of that is affordable housing. It's the people that they really need a solution. And that is actually what brings me to this company, because obviously we can actually make an impact in our people and give them an opportunity. You cannot even work, you cannot go to school.
NVIDIA calls it extreme co-design, where they design the system with the suppliers and partners. If you bring that to the physical world of homes and cities, imagine the synchronicity you could have around co-design. I mean, we've been covering grid computing, kind of rebooting with how energy in these cities could be changed, harnessed. Back in the day when I was pirating music, not to show my age, but when the web came out, #1 applications besides the adult industry was ripping illegal music.
Right.
And you have to use P2P technology to do that. You can apply that kind of P2P to energy.
Absolutely.
So there's now a grid concept coming back to preserve energy in this industry. So I can see maybe houses built in for that intelligence.
Totally. And to preserve energy, again, baby steps. Today we're going to the field in cars with the tools for 18 months. Imagine the impact on the energy if you build a house in a minute.
Yeah, you're not. I guess you're kind of public, but you can't say forward-looking statements. I mean, I'm not saying it's a forward-looking statement. I'm just predicting that the physical house can be a connected device, because the AI trends are all pointing to physical digital conversion. There are nodes on the network. You got tokens for AI for pumping out contextual relevance. On the crypto side, you're seeing tokenization as a utility. That could be applied to things like electricity, utilities, water, power, user behavior.
It's very interesting. So I cannot disclose names, but one of the biggest appliances company in the world, one day we received a call and the CEO came to visit us because their vision is the house is the next appliance, which is exactly what you are talking about. And I agree. I think in The next step is enhancing the experience of living in the house that will provide you the value that you need. Face recognition is going to give you, a message where your
we see the Ring cameras today. People love those because why not?
Totally.
But they have to bolt that on as a retrofit.
Totally.
So that could be all enabled. All right, Martin, I really appreciate you coming on, and as the CFO, you're in the public process. I know you really can't talk numbers, but I will have to ask, what's next for you guys? What's the process look like? Are there deadlines? You guys are key dates? What should people know?
Yeah, again, we're expecting the SEC to come back after the government shut down. We believe that the review should be smooth because we're already public, we're already in compliance, we're a very transparent company. So we're looking maybe early next year to be a public company. Everything that we're trying to do now is to set the right strategy to protect our investors, current and future investors. We're trying to really build, go public without any toxic vehicle. We really want to be fair and support those guys that they supported us earlier and the guys that they are coming on board. We're going to have, again, the strategy that will build an organic market presence without any type of, other approach that actually focusing on building our business and keep growing the business.
Well, I really appreciate the insight, and again, I don't know much about SPACs because it's kind of like a new thing, but it's a public process, and I did not know that dollars would convert. So you can get in on it now. So
I can give you another information there. So we tried to do a direct listing indeed. We didn't want to do an SPAC. The problem was we couldn't do it because we were already subject to exchange, so there is legal things that didn't allow us. We were not eligible to do it.
Because you have a lot of investors. You got a viral program.
So we were trying to leverage our retail. We have a lot of retail investors, so we didn't really need to go into a table and negotiate an IPO. So we're trying to go public fast to give liquidity to our investors, which is what they want, basically, right? So the easier way was a SPAC. We found a great SPAC partner. We're working really well with them, and I think the process is going to be smooth.
And just a little nuance, I have learned this, that if your success dictated this, because you had a successful viral raise campaign, which is tens of thousands of investors. I mean, it adds up, but it's
50,000.
not your classic.
50,000.
Not your classic Series A, 3 institutional investors.
No.
Next round. So that process really goes public. You guys, success drove this behavior, pretty much. Is that what you're saying?
Totally, and we will keep approaching the market, supporting our retail investors, again, protecting those that we have currently, and adding more to our prospect.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and clarifying. Really appreciate you.
Us.
Very innovative approach. Again, the housing revolution, the housing problem, from homelessness to just cost. The stats are out there that we've been reading and reporting that home ownership is happening later in people's lives in their 40s because it's not affordable, not enough supply and inventory, and there's plenty of demand. So again, solving that problem with technology and innovative solutions is the key. Of course, it's theCUBE bringing you all the leaders here at a Mixture of Experts series. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Thanks for watching.